Right now in the tech world, one of the most unexpected turns in the artificial intelligence race is beginning to take shape. Google is preparing a product that could completely redefine how we perceive smartphones and AI devices in the coming years. And the most interesting part is not that the company is making yet another smart gadget or a competitor to various AI cubes, glasses, or wearable devices. On the contrary, Google is betting on an already existing time-tested device that everyone has in their pocket and is planning to turn it into something far more powerful than just a smartphone. Essentially, this is about developing a new type of AI chip that will not be embedded into the phone like a traditional processor, but will become a separate next-generation module capable of integrating directly with a smartphone, boosting its capabilities by tens of times. This is not just a hardware upgrade. It is an attempt to create a new class of devices, a hybrid between a smartphone and a full-fledged personal AI computer. And if this is truly implemented the way sources describe, we may witness the moment when the boundary between a phone and artificial intelligence simply disappears. Google is exploring the idea of creating a compact AI module that will resemble a small chip or an ultra-thin block in size, which could either be built into the body of next-generation smartphones or connected via a special interface, possibly through a magnetic attachment or a new type of port. But the key idea here is that the main intelligence of the device will be moved outside the standard SoC, turning the smartphone into a kind of terminal for a more powerful local AI. This AI chip will essentially function as a local neural server right in your pocket. It will be able to run large language models, process video in real time, analyze the surrounding environment, predict user actions, and even control other devices without connecting to the cloud. This means that many tasks that currently require the internet and remote servers will happen directly on the device, instantly and without latency. Imagine opening your camera and the phone not just recognizing objects, but analyzing the scene in real time, understanding context, suggesting actions, translating text, explaining what is happening, and even generating augmented reality on top of the real world without the cloud. Or you speak with a voice assistant, and instead of giving template-based answers, it conducts a full conversation like a living intelligence, because the model runs locally and is not limited by network delays. Google is placing a strong emphasis on the energy efficiency of this chip. This is not just a powerful processor, it is a specialized next-generation AI accelerator optimized for neural networks, with an architecture designed specifically for real-time model processing. It is said to use a hybrid architecture, a combination of TPU cores, neural accelerators, and new types of memory that allow large models to be stored directly on the device without massive energy consumption. And if this is true, then we are talking about a smartphone capable of performing tasks at the level of a laptop or even servers, while remaining compact and autonomous. But the most strategically important aspect is not the technology itself, but the approach. While other companies are spending billions to create entirely new categories of devices, AI gadgets, glasses, assistants, robots, Google seems to be betting on evolution rather than revolution. They are not trying to force people to buy something completely new. They are taking a device that is already part of everyday life and simply making it radically smarter. This is a very strong move because the main problem of all new AI devices right now is adoption, that is, implementation. People are not eager to change their habits. But if you give them the same smartphone, only 10 times smarter, that is a completely different story. According to rumors, this AI chip will be deeply integrated with the Google ecosystem. This means it will work in conjunction with Android, a new generation of Google Assistant, services like Gmail, Docs, YouTube, and even Chrome. But the key difference is that all of this will work locally, without constant dependence on the cloud. For example, you receive an email, and the AI immediately analyzes it, suggests a reply, takes into account your communication style, the context of previous conversations, and can even automatically perform actions such as booking tickets, creating events, or replying to messages. And all of this happens instantly because the intelligence is right in your hands. Another interesting feature mentioned by sources is the so-called personal contextual intelligence. The chip will continuously learn based on user behavior, while the data will not be sent to the cloud. This means a higher level of privacy and personalization at the same time. The phone will literally understand you, your habits, schedule, communication style, and preferences. It will be able to predict what you need before you even say it. And if you look at this from an industry perspective, it becomes clear why such an approach could be a major blow to competitors. While other companies are trying to create new devices from scratch, Google can simply update millions of existing smartphones through a new line of devices or even accessories. This can potentially scale much faster. And now imagine what will happen if this AI chip becomes a standard. Smartphones will stop being just devices for apps. They will become personal AI centers, capable of performing tasks that replace entire categories of devices. This chip could become the foundation for future technologies beyond smartphones. If you have a compact and powerful AI module, it can be integrated anywhere, into glasses, cars, robots, or smart home systems. And then the smartphone becomes not just a device, but the core of the entire ecosystem. From a strategic point of view, this looks like an attempt to create an AI platform, not just a product. And if that is the case, Google may not just win the current race, but set the standards for years ahead. And the most interesting thing is that so far all of this looks like a quiet development without loud announcements. But it is exactly such things that usually become the biggest breakthroughs, because by the time the product is released, it is already ready to change the market. And if this AI chip truly turns out to be what insiders describe, we may be on the verge of a moment when the smartphone stops being just a phone and becomes a true artificial intelligence in your pocket. In essence, such an AI chip could change not only the user experience, but also the very architecture of mobile applications. Imagine that classic apps gradually fade into the background, because instead of opening a separate service, you simply formulate a task, and the local intelligence itself assembles the necessary functions from different sources, combining them into a single action. This is no longer open a taxi app, open maps, check the weather. It is one request that AI processes as a whole, like a human. And this is exactly where Google can leverage its main advantage: a vast ecosystem of data and services that can be connected through this chip into a unified intelligent system. Moreover, according to some leaks, a scenario is being considered in which this module can work in conjunction with other nearby devices, creating a distributed AI network. That means several smartphones or devices nearby could combine their computing power, strengthening each other in real time. This sounds like something from the future, but it is precisely such solutions that could make it possible to run even more complex models without the cloud, directly on site. And if this is actually implemented, the next step becomes almost obvious. The smartphone stops being an individual device and turns into part of a collective computing environment, where intelligence is distributed but remains local and private. And at that point, it becomes clear that Google is not just competing in the device race. They are essentially laying the foundation for a new digital infrastructure, where the main product is not a gadget, but the intelligence itself embedded into everyday life.